Hey everyone, and welcome to the new episode Inside 6 Yards. I'm your host Yatesy, and with me, as always, the guy you would take home and meet your parents, my trusty co-host,
Tommygun.
Nice. Tommy, we have a jam-packed episode, don't we?
Oh, dude, we have an absolute awesome episode in store for everyone playing at home. We have SDL giveaways, so stay tuned for them. But also, speaking of SDL, shirts that we are wearing look amazing. Big shout out to SDL for these. They look
tasty,
awesome. But as always, we have plenty of goalkeeper chat as well, which is awesome. And one more thing, mate, which you're going to love, is we have a special guest on the show.
A what?
Yeah, you heard me correct, bud. We have a special guest for our very first episode of Inside 6 Yards.
Oh, that's naughty. That's a lot of pressure though, Tommy.
Oh, dude, it is going to be awesome. Absolutely gloves it.
I'm glad I've been watching those YouTube channels of Ray Martin, how to get some interview techniques. That's great. Well, as you know, Tommy, COVID-19, we have restrictions.
Yeah, of course, mate. So to keep that social distancing, we're going to be using Skype.
Yeah.
Being responsible.
And also, we don't really want to get our passport stamped where we have to go.
I don't even have my passport, I don't think.
No, you should talk to the courts about that.
Yeah,
but that's a different podcast. Anyway, so with further ado, may I introduce our special guest?
Mate, you are the host. It is your honour.
Oh, well, thank you. So you guys might have heard of him. He has been around the NPL for a few years. He's been a hero and a villain. He was one of the finalists of the 2019 Goalkeeper Revenge Battles.
Oh, yes.
And this will probably give it away, Tommy. He is currently the number one goalkeeper at, dramatic pause, Rockingham City.
You wouldn't happen to be talking about the man, the myth, the legend that is Cyril Sharrock.
Oh, yes.
What a guest to bring on our first episode. Mate, I am absolutely stoked about this. Cannot wait.
Oh, look, it's an honour to interview this man.
Oh,
this young man.
This absolutely young man. Because I tell you what, he would shred us for goalkeeping.
Yeah, the young stallion of a man. So let's just call him now. Let's do it.
Mate, we are wasting precious time, so let's just give him a call. Let's do it.
Well, yeah. I feel like we need to do the intro. From people calling your name Cyril, and one of my biggest highlights of pretty much first in your play is when Forestfield United were in the NPL,
right,
and they were cheering your name pretty much. Well, I was one of those in the bandwagon cheering your name for the whole thing.
Right.
And one of the highlights was at the end of the game. I can't remember the score because that was irrelevant. But everyone was cheering your name, Cyril. I do believe you got a yellow card, but we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the lovely little cheeky grin by you, Cyril, and just the clap to the crowd, just to say, thanks for watching and appreciate it. So to get us started off, I just want to go through a few. I'm going to run off a few stats that Tommy did a bit of research on you, mate.
Nice.
He's the brains behind this. I'm trying to be the pretty face. The makeup crew couldn't make it, so it's all right.
Mate, Google has some strange things to say about you, my friend.
Good thing you had the parent guard on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Cyril represented WA State team in 2010. Played at Armidale 2013. Played at Rockingham City from 2014 to 2016. Played at Mandurah City 2017. Then you went back to Rockingham for 2018. So this actually brings me to one of my questions here. Moving between Rockingham City and Mandurah City, was that a bit like a Manchester United and Manchester City rivalry there? How did that transition go?
Yeah, it was a difficult transition, that, to be honest. Obviously, being with Rockingham for quite a few years. When I first came, actually, I played a couple of games from when I arrived. Setting up living down in Rockingham was difficult to move the transition. But in all honesty, gents, it was all about just playing football for me. I don't really get caught up in the rivalry sort of stuff. It's about just playing games. I want to play football. And I do remember at the time, Dougie Escott gave me the call for to go to play for manager for the NPL. So I've always been one to try and play as high as I can for as long as I can.
Yep. Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't. I've never really got stuck with the rivalry sort of business. It's always been about just playing football and enjoying it with a smile on your face. So when that opportunity come to go to Mandurah, Yeah, I had a quick chat with Rockingham, and yeah, it was. I can't really recall who was the manager at the time at Rockingham, but no, it was okay. It was okay. There was no real animosity there, and obviously I'm back there at Rockingham now, and have a really friendly relationship with the lads at Mandurah as well. So no, again, not so much. I've never really been caught up in the rivalry sort of business, to be honest.
It's good, it's good that you obviously didn't leave with bad blood. And look, it's awesome as goalkeepers to play. You know, you might play from one club to another. You play against each other, but that's it. Like you said, have a smile on your face. There to play football.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Cyril, have you always wanted to be a goalkeeper? Did you
Absolutely.
play in positions or?
That's a good one.
Yeah, strangely enough, I'm a one of three brothers, and they were both keen footballers when I came home, when I was growing up. So, my middle brother Barry, he was a very, very good soccer player. So he's older than me, so he ruled the roost a little bit in the sense that I would always go in goal while he smacked shots at me.
Good
practice. Absolutely. From a super young age, I was in there. I was in the sticks, and yeah, just warmed to it, loved it, enjoyed every minute of diving around, getting dirty, getting shots pelted at you, and if I'm being honest, that's never changed. I have historically I've played out once in the NPL whilst I was at Mandurah for some crazy reason, but other than that, no, I've always been behind the sticks, mate.
Yeah. How did that go? Your little outfield stint. How did that go, by any chance?
Oh, it was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Scored a hat trick and everything.
Do you know what is that quite unique? Was we played. Dougie was in charge again at Mandurah, and we was really struggling for players. And I don't know if you remember that. Brad Afai was the keeper. When I first arrived, and we had a little bit of a. Yeah, Brad's a cool guy, really good keeper. So we had a real bit of a tussle there, and one day we got short on a player, and I got on there. I think I can't recall, Sorrento maybe, but yeah, I've got that one in the locker, gents, up front. NPL.
How did you fight Brad for not playing on the pitch? Because I know Brad. I've known him from Forestfield. How did you find him? Because he's a pretty mean striker and he likes to talk about it.
Legend, yeah, cool guy. He kept me on my toes at Mandurah. I've always been quite focused and driven to get, to I mean, this is crazy, but to be number one. And me and Brad, I've always had a healthy relationship with the keepers I'm scrapping against, because as you guys know, there's only us. There's only one position, and you've got to have that really good relationship. And I suppose that hunger to play, be number one, I suppose. So me and Brad was good. Brad was number one at Mandurah when I arrived. So. It was always going to be difficult, that, because he was a quality keeper, but eventually I did make my way in, and the rest is history, isn't it?
Do you still have a chat to Brad every now and then, or?
Yeah, you know what, Jez, I'm not massive on social media. I'm not really one. Hence, what I just thought. This is probably the first time I've done a podcast or an interview for quite a long time, but awesome. It's not something I usually do.
So are you saying that we popped your cherry, Cyril?
I'm a bit old for that now, Jez.
No, mate, you're young. You're a young Thundercat. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, excellent.
I just want to bring you back, Cyril, when you mentioned about always want to be the number one goalkeeper. Being as yourself as a ripe age for a goalkeeper now, being the experience and what you've been through, how does it go training with the younger goalkeepers, and I guess trying to be a bit of a role model, or trying to keep that number one position, but still trying to show the lads, you don't mess with the top dog?
So it's a good question, for a comment. Look, as I am getting a little bit older now in the career, it's more. I mean, I've spoken to Rockingham about this and a number of clubs about. I do enjoy obviously still playing, but I'm also open to working hard to try and get that number one keeper, because as we know, the boys there's not many. I'll rephrase. There's a shortage of quality keepers in the West, I believe. So,
definitely, we're awful.
Yeah.
We don't add to the quality. We don't add to the quality whatsoever.
I don't believe that for 1 minute, gents. I've seen you in action, and you're doing really well. But
thanks, Cyril. Thanks. Lasted a long time.
Yeah. So I've always been. I certainly want to give back now. I've said that to the club, and I've said that. Obviously, with a number of people that I'm obviously getting on. There's no doubt about that. But I'm definitely one to give back to the kids, and certainly the young keepers what are at Rocky now. I run sessions with them guys, and it's enjoyable. But I've still got a little bit of drive to play, so I've got to really strike that balance really loosely. But yeah, I'm always happy to give back where I can.
That's good. Do you find your training and your pre-warm up to games change as you, I guess, as the years goes on with the experience that you've got? Do you find your training changes through that compared to what you're 18 to now?
Yeah. See, it's been, if I'm being honest, I wasn't the most, growing up, going through the ranks, I wasn't the most active trainer. That's fact. I was probably the first off the training ground in my younger years. But as you do get into your later years, as the saying goes, I probably work harder now than I did when I was, I don't know, 17, 18, 19. I was quite a lazy keeper, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to deny that. But now I tend to. But I could get away with it because obviously, if you perform on match day, as you guys know, you can train a sort of how you feel, I suppose.
Oh, definitely, yeah, for sure, Cyril. But mate, like. With regards to goalkeeping, especially nowadays, you see a lot of goalkeepers that are actually going for a lot longer in their peak, and you see a lot of keepers like Buffon. He's in his 40s, still playing at like one of the highest levels out there. Do you feel like you're still at your peak, or do you feel like you've you just got a few more years left, and then you can think about something else?
Don't give away a secret.
Yeah, I can't let that one go. I suppose, if I'm being honest, like you guys, you've been keeping a long time, and I do see the modern day stuff now. I obviously, I'm not a modern day keeper. I don't obviously have the shape diving and things like that. But I think you tend to read the game a little bit better when you do get older. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you mentioned Buffon there, and you see him. He's not. I don't believe he's a flash keeper, but he's very, very effective. And I'm sure he's keeping himself really, really healthy and fit. But I think as you go, angles change. I mean, you've seen a lot of players strike balls, so I'm not saying you know exactly what's coming at you, because of course we will concede goals, but it seems to get a tiny bit easier to read the play. It's as we said, it's a unique position, and I did some crazy things in my early years as a keeper, but later on, I've definitely mellowed, gents. I've definitely mellowed.
I don't know, sir. I've seen a few cheeky photos of you making some top bin saves, mate. So, you mentioned before about I mentioned before about training hard. I heard a rumor about you, Cyril, that you were the first person at training and the last person out of a training room, and that comes from training and also game days as well. So there's a bit of dedication there, mate.
I suppose like we're a bit of a different breed, aren't we? Yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's something different about us, and I'm not going to say there's anything. I'm definitely a different animal. When it comes to playing football, I do. When I cross the white line, something goes a little bit crazy. But I think I've sort of cherished. I'm getting towards the twilight, and I just probably want to go a little bit longer if I can. And that comes with that has to be dedication as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. So last season, Cyril, I thought you played. I watched you definitely every week on the old the Football West on the Facebook and definitely cheering you on from my couch.
Thanks, man.
But you had 5 clean sheets last season, and actually I think it was 3 or 4 of them were actually in a row. To get on a good roll like that with your team, especially, how do you keep that up? It's so hard to keep concentration throughout games for long periods of time.
Saying that time, what you said, Cyril. What was that? The 5-0 win against Sterling Lions?
Yeah. So your biggest win last season, if you didn't know,
5-0
win.
It's nice.
Yeah, there we go. So I did do my research.
You guys have done some homework. I love that.
Yeah, there we go. So we're trying to be somewhat professional, Cyril.
Nice one. You're doing a good
job. But them long games, especially I had it last season for me, especially playing for Wembley Downs. Killer. I had so many games where we were killing it 5-6-0, and then we conceded a goal in the last 5 minutes, and I just come off the park going, Jesus Christ, I wish I'd got that clean sheet. Like, how do you what do you do to spark up your defense and just try to keep that clean sheet, especially when your team's so dominant throughout the game? Like, what's the Cyril process for that?
I suppose drive. Like you said, I've had many defenders tell me to be quiet and should. I mean, I think, as you guys know, communication is key. I think if it's again, we're in the keepers union here a little bit. Is the sense that you're at the back, you're on your own, you're in that lonely environment, the 6-yard box, and I try and control the traffic a little bit. I try not to make saves if my defenders can block them shots, but I think it only comes if you give that right information out to them guys to know.
I agree.
They can't see what you can see, and I think it's really unique. I mean, my thought process, I do remember Sterling clearly, is that the drive was to continue going forward and attack Sterling. Albeit we were 5-0 up. You want 6, you want 7, and I wanted that clean sheet desperately. So it was continuous communication with them guys to say, let's go, keep going, keep driving, not let the defence or midfield get lazy. Be really dominant on that group.
Especially when you get maybe those 2-3 goals up.
It is
habit and trend for some goalkeepers, midfield defenders to kind of drop the 8 ball a little bit and get in cruise mode. But you, as bad as it sounds, you just need to go for blood. I would have loved to be in your change rooms with your coach at halftime to hear what your coach would have said. To keep going.
He was a good guy actually. He's really strategic. Cam Lord, who we had last year. He's a astute guy. He knows how to set a team up. He did a really good job last year. No doubt about that.
So I'm just confirming that as well, like Cyril. So it was round 4 to 6. So you beat Sterling 5-0. You beat Coburn 2-0, and then Sorrento 1-0. So round 4, round 5, round 6, 3 clean sheets in a row. Once you get on a roll like that, like obviously the confidence just goes through the roof.
Yeah, that's right.
Confidence is key.
And like if you do potentially, have a few bad losses, which I won't mention that we did have last season, but how do you, not talking about that.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
But how do you bounce back from that? So like obviously, you get a real high from the clean sheets, and then you're on a bit of a high. And then all of a sudden, you conceding quite a few goals, another week after. And how do you, do you separate the process? Do you separate the games and and get each one as you go, or do you kind of just take the good, take the bad, or what's your process for that?
And you're right. I mean, I spoke to some young guys about this when we was training last. Is that as you guys understand, is that we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to have bad games, but mental toughness in our positions is key. Is that you've got to roll off a 5-0 defeat, and I do go away and analyse. I do look at the videos on YouTube and just have a look and see. I could have done better. And I think as I think you'd agree, is that you've got to be honest as well as a keeper and say, look, exactly. I could have done better. I could have done better there, and that's fact. I mean, we all get ribbed at training for letting the bad ones in from our players, but I think if you're honest with them as well and to say, look, hey gents, I got that one wrong. I think you get sort of mutual respect there to say, listen, this guy's not messing around. At least he puts his hand up when he makes a mistake. But you're absolutely right, Tommy. Is that I definitely come off and analyse, and I also go back on with a fresh mindset for the next game. Even though I've been, I may have let 5 in the game before, I've got to go fresh for the game 1 because obviously my goal's empty to start with. So mentally, I'm driving for that game rather than thinking about the last. And I think again that's super important as a keeper is to keep your a steady mind, because again it can all go wrong in the first minute or the last minute for you, can it?
That's it.
Definitely.
Well, that's what I was going to bring you back to with the 5-0 win. Obviously that'll be tough, but a 1-0 win, I think the pressure on that is incredible for a 1-0 win. To keep it 1-0.
Them butterflies, mate. When you just them last 5 minutes in a 1-0 game. Just they never go by quick enough, do they?
That's exactly right. Yeah. And again, I think your mind plays games with you when you're out there. They certainly did in my younger years, I suppose. But I suppose you become. And again, I've worked with some young guys at Rocky about this. Is that they get nervous before games, and that's okay. but you've got to allow the nerves to go when you walk over, because at the end of the day, you can control something. You're in charge of what happens in the back of your goals, and if you're nervous doing that, we're gonna make mistakes. I think it's about processing and really focusing on the job at hand, rather than worrying about what might happen.
Well, that's it, and it's also too recovering from those mistakes. You might make a bad mistake, concedes a goal, and it's literally picking yourself up. That thought process of, I made a mistake. How am I going to rectify this? And moving forward, and also too, it starts from the back. So goal goes in, you need to stay positive and reinforce the team and say, look, So I just want to touch something which I found a little bit amusing, Cyril. So you played 19 games with 5 yellow cards. Now, I heard a rumour, Cyril, that you're a bit cheeky and you like to talk to referees a little bit. Can you confirm or deny this, Cyril?
I'd have to confirm that is true. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and lie about stuff like that. No, I do. Yeah, I do respect referees. They've got an unbelievable job, tough job, but
very hard job.
I am. There's no doubt about it. If I can push a little bit, I will. But I do like to question the decision every now and again, gents. No doubt about that.
It's just a matter of playing the game. And do you know what's the funniest thing is that you do hear a lot, and you definitely have a reputation in the WA goalkeeper community. And I remember when I first met you at the goalkeeper battle this year, and I just didn't see it. Everyone's talking about, he's real aggro. He argues with the ref. He always gets yellow cards, red cards. And then I remember just talking to you going, he's a lad. What is everyone talking about? and then I watched you play. And then I realised, okay, now I understand. So you're just a complete different animal on the pitch.
I suppose. Yeah.
It's touching to what Cyril said before. When you cross that line, you go into game mode. You switch on, and that's it. It's football.
Yeah, it's all about keeping the clean sheet, doing your job out there in the park, and I love it. I think it's great. I love a bit of character on the field, and and I think it's awesome. It's awesome to watch as well. By the way, it's awesome.
I love it. And I appreciate that, because I do. Obviously, I have. There's been that stigma, I suppose, but I think we could say that about a lot of players who we watch on TV. But I think in reality, what is the perception is sometimes a whole lot different. I'm a family guy. I'm not. I do. There's no doubt about it. I'll do it. I'm a winner. I like to win. I like to get on the pitch and win games. I think that's what we're all there for. But I have learned to accept losing, I suppose. But that doesn't come easy when I'm on the pitch. Me and the refs do have I think you hit the nail on the head, Tommy. Is that I do like to bring a bit of character to the game. I think the character in the game is somewhat. I grew up watching Bruce Grobbelaar, who was Peter Schmeichel, legend guys, and
legend keeper.
Rene Higuita at Wembley does a bicycle kick, in front of 60,000-70,000. That is what I'm talking about. That's why we're unique, I think. And I think that's what I've sort of, obviously growing up in a really difficult environment to survive in the UK scene. Perth, maybe when I first came to Perth, obviously the referees were a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? He's
crap.
What was going? Yeah.
I was just going to cut you short there, Cyril. Yeah, I won't beat around the bush, but you can be nice.
Can you say
thank you?
In experience a little bit with the way football was, 10, 15 years ago to what it is now, like the pace of the game's changed, and back then, you can probably get away with a lot more stuff that you could now.
And I certainly agree, and I think as we spoke about before, I do, me and the refs obviously have a chat afterwards, and I said, look, communication is key. I'll push to where there's a limit, and then if you just say, look, enough's enough, I sort of tend to go away. But if you allow it to continue, there's always going to be an opportunity for me to question, because that's what I like to do, I suppose. Question.
As all keepers do, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
love to poke the bear. But Cyril, Another thing that I did actually notice, and this is actually quite recent, but last year, so you represented Australia in the Masters World Cup. That's awesome. Like just to be like to represent Australia. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was great. That was it was actually more than what I expected it would be. To be honest, when I got the call, yeah, absolutely. I jumped at it. I said, yeah, of course, obviously, of course, I'll play for Australia. But it was actually more than what I thought it would be. Some really good, really great stadiums, really fantastic people. Obviously, really good players as well. I think the Iranian side was 4 years out of representing the World Cup. I mean, that's them players have represented their country 4 years ago in the World Cup. That's next level stuff,
Top football.
So yeah, no, it was fantastic to go out to Thailand with them guys and a really, really good bunch of guys as well. Big Eugene, Daddy was out there who again, I'd heard a little bit about, and do you know what, wonderful guy, super guy, and again there was many more, but yeah, great environment, fantastic environment, really good opportunity.
That makes a big difference, doesn't it? Especially grabbing, it's almost like a Mighty Ducks type of theme, isn't it? Just grabbing different people and representing WA. Everyone has their strengths and all that type of stuff. So
for sure.
Hudson Grove. So well, that kind of ties in. So I do believe you wore a special type of glove, representing a certain brand that you might be wearing on the team as well. So you've been wearing SDL gloves since 2013. Do you have a favourite SDL glove?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, he's evolved them gloves. Stewie has. He's done a great job with those. And
Stewie has evolved over time as well.
He works hard. He's a solid sort of guy. He's worked really hard on these gloves. I do wear roll fingers. I've always wore roll fingers. I suppose the prototype roll finger is what I used to wear. Again, I was sort of said this to Stewie, and probably you guys agree, is that we've wore many types of gloves, but I suppose the gloves are important, but the hands are even more important. What's in the glove is the most important to me, and if you've got a safe pair of hands, that helps. I mean, I sort of said to quite a few kids is that don't really worry about the night gloves, what are going to cost $150. What have got neoprene on them, they're not going to stop every ball. That's your hands what are going to do that.
That's it.
And Stewie, like I said, the SDL gloves at the minute, the neoprenes are fantastic. Yeah, what can I say? They're very, very good.
And especially with the times we're going through now, and before too, to get a decent pair of gloves for a decent price, why, as a parent or as a student or
as an NPL keeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a family man. You can spend more money on canning and Barbie and dolls and toys and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, that's good. You mentioned a few other goalkeepers before. I just would like to know, do you have like a favourite goalkeeper or someone that when you was young you were like, I want to be that goalkeeper?
It's a good question now.
When in the backyard playing with your brothers, like, I'm such and such, or
it was I think it was Grobbelaar, to be honest. Back in the day, I think it was Grobs, yeah, and then it was Peter Schmeichel for sure. I think he's
everyone loves Schmeichel.
Yeah,
he's a legend guy. Yeah, so I think it was I think I was Bruce Grobbelaar for a long time. Trying to stand on my head and doing silly things as a kid. Yeah,
gotta love it, though.
Yeah.
So I've just got a few questions, and I myself. I have a certain song I like to listen to prior to it. More of a song when I'm driving to games before you get with the lads, you get changed and you put your song on. So do you have a song you listen to prior to playing?
Oh, crikey! These changing moves have changed, gents. I used to I used to listen to a little bit of
a little bit of Rocky.
Something like, I mean, Rocky was a favourite, wasn't he?
But no, Eye of the Tiger, I could crack that out.
I was always it's crazy. Yeah, the dynamics of the changing room changed. I mean, I was always I needed a quiet zone, to be honest. And I still have a quiet zone at Rocky now. Even I have that period where the players go out and the music gets turned, and I do have a quiet moment if I'm not an overly loud sort of person when it comes to music. I like to gather my thoughts before games and go into a little bit of a zone. And that's followed me. I've always done that as a young keeper. I've never really been one to be bouncing around the change rooms before a game. I've always done it while I'm out there. So I'm sort of trying to keep it quite mellow, Do you
have much of a superstition? Do you do certain things before you prep for every game?
Well, that's interesting because I heard that you're the last person to leave the change rooms. Is that true?
Comes back to that
again. It's true.
That's the easiest time, actually.
It was hectic. Yeah, I had to. Again, like I said, your mind plays crazy things with you, doesn't it? But as a young keeper, I had so many. I can't even tell you how many I had. It was ridiculous. I think before I got out the changing rooms, I had to do about 40 routines, and that used to drive the managers mad. But now it's just the one. The one is just the I do like to leave last.
Okay. Yeah.
It as you guys know, if your preparation is right and you're mentally okay on the pitch, things seem to go right for you.
Yeah, agreed.
But when they get messed up, it seems to start playing with you again. Your mind keeps playing games on you. But last is right, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Like, because I've definitely had a few games where the timings of things have not really planned out as well, and all of a sudden I've only been able to do half my warm up or something like that, and it's really just them little things kind of throw you off, and you go out on the field as if you're not ready. So I think having that pre-game routine, and everyone's got their own little quirks that they like. I think it definitely gets you into that zone that every keeper needs, that zone that they need to be somewhat anxious, somewhat calm, and it's a very unique place to be.
Definitely.
It's the keeper place, the happy place.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think everyone's got it, haven't they? I think obviously going through changing rooms with lots of other keepers, they have some people are bouncing off the walls, some people are chilling. It's a really it's a really broad spectrum of what keepers get up to, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Awesome.
So, another fun question, time for me to ask it.
Yes.
Do you have a favourite football movie?
Ooh.
Because there's a few out there.
Yeah, favourite football movie. Good question. 101 Great Goals. I just watched it the other night with the kids. I just like another one. Whatever. I saw the other one. I watched another one, old one the other week. Was the one Sylvester Stallone. Help me out, gents.
It's not The Great Escape. It's when they get his arm broken and Gordon Banks. That's it. Yeah, I know the one. Yeah. My old man showed me that when I first started getting into football. He's an AFL guy, and he's like, you should be playing that sport. And then I said, well, I want to be a goalkeeper, and he's like, well, I guess it's like AFL, so I know
close enough.
Yeah, I know this movie where Sylvester Stallone plays a goalkeeper, and the other goalkeeper gets his arm broken so he can escape. But for me, it has to be Mean Machine with the monk.
Yeah, great game. Great movie.
Oh, loves it.
Just the banter, the commentators, the tackles.
Jason Statham just cut
that's right. Absolutely. Yeah, what a
absolutely
movie. Can't go past that. Gotta agree there.
That's one for the fans. So if you're listening, download it, whatever, watch it because it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Probably not one for the kids. Maybe it's more
that's
like
right.
not
a family movie.
Not a family movie. That's right, Tommy. I got
it. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Cyril very shortly. All right, everyone, and we are back with Cyril still joining us through Skype. Mate, again, thanks for just tuning in with us, mate. It's been an awesome experience, and mate, you're just a legend. Let's be honest.
Thank you, Ken.
All right, cool. So we've already covered a lot, but I've got an interesting question for you, mate. But basically, if you had, with all the experience that you've got nowadays, playing through different leagues, playing through the NPL, if you could almost go back in time and have a little bit of a conversation with a younger goalkeeper version of yourself, is there any tips or anything that you potentially give advice to a younger goalkeeper version of Cyril?
Absolutely, yeah, and it's interesting. I have this conversation with my younger chap. I've got a couple of young boys, and I suppose when you're in the throes of things, when you're in the moment, you don't really take it on board. What is happening around you? What you're doing. I certainly, as a younger guy, took a few things for granted. As I said to you, I'd be first off the training track. There's no doubt about that. And the extra training. Well, it wasn't something I really. I worked hard while I was in training, but obviously the guys who I've been around who have obviously had successful careers. And it's cliche, but they are the guys what stayed the hour later, booted 100 balls at the keeper. They are the guys what have been really, really successful. And that wasn't me, if I'm being totally honest. I was driven, but I wasn't totally. I was committed, but not 100% committed. I was committed in the sense that I was enjoying what I was doing, and things are going pretty well. But I think I should have put in. I needed to work a little bit harder, and it would have been a lot more successful than what it has been for me, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no. I completely agree with you. Like, I found that with any sport that I've ever done, is that the harder that I trained and the more committed I was, the better I ended up being when it came to match day. Whether it be playing AFL or playing football, not soccer. All right? We don't call it soccer. All right? It's a big thing on this podcast. All right, soccer is a no-no. But yeah, I completely agree, mate. Like just having that dedication and just putting them few extra yards in, or yarns we can call it.
Yarns,
yarns.
Like it.
It definitely goes a long way, and no, definitely, 100% agree with you there, mate.
Yeah, it does pay off. There's no doubt about that.
That's it. So obviously with the times going now, with the crisis we're in, how are yourself and your family coping at the moment? If you don't mind me asking that question.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We are doing okay. Obviously we're doing the social distancing. We're staying home. We're obviously working from home, but we're quite active in the morning. If I'm being honest, we're doing a lot in the morning. Good. Early on, we're up early and. We're fortunate enough to live close to the beach, so we're on the foreshore and we do a little bit of a routine. And we're still getting up and doing our thing.
Sorry, Cyril. What? Continue.
Yeah, no, the ball's out. Again, two young boys. And we have a real good crack at it every morning. Before the sun comes up, and Dad's jumping around in goals, shooting balls, and trying to stay as fit as we can.
That's good. So that's pretty much what you're doing to keep yourself in shape. Up and down the beach, getting the kids fire balls at you.
We are absolutely. Yeah, I'm still in work. Still trying to do my thing. Yeah. And as I said, as I've got a little bit in the later years, I know that I've got to stay in shape because there's some young keeper who's gonna have a crack at taking on the spot, and that's cool as well. I bring that on, but I need to keep myself in the best possible shape as I can to keep him on his toes as well.
Well, that's it. Well, we actually talked about the different type of fitness in our
pilot episode.
In our pilot episode, it's a completely different fitness to say a midfielder, and to be honest, like NPL to any league, to a defender to a goalkeeper. What I've got players on my team that are going 5k, 6k runs. As a goalkeeper, yes. Keeping fit's important, but it's that reaction and becoming mental sharp, and those 6-yard to 20-yard passes that need to be on point. So it's quite hard. Like there's a bit of difference between the fitness level there.
Yeah, I agree. And I've seen your boy. Again, my young chap. He tunes in. He's a budding little young keeper, and he's tuned into your little podcast there. So he's been quite excited for the back garden techniques have been fantastic.
Did he watch this little solo goalkeeper drill?
He loved it, mate. He was in the back, and I saw him watching it, and then there he was kicking the ball against the fence, which was great.
Give him a shout out in your next one, Tommy.
That's so awesome to hear. Like it's exactly the reason that I did that video. And by the way, that was Stu's idea to do that video. It was Stu's idea, and he gave me a few ideas to do, and then I just kind of ran with it, and I spent a whole day filming, just because I was doing it all myself, filming, editing, I did it all, and just trying to get the right angles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's difficult, but just to even if you can just get one person that kind of gets a little idea and gets a bit of motivation from it, that was the idea behind it, and it was actually my most viral video I've ever saw. I'm usually averaging about maybe 100 views if I'm lucky. And this morning when I checked, it's just hit over 900 views. So
good work.
For me, that's the more people I can get in touch with that kind of stuff, it's awesome. So you can. It's that wider spectrum of the goalkeepers union, I think.
I totally agree. Yeah, and I suppose, as you said, it whets little younger guys' appetites to grab a ball and start banging it against the wall and making saves, looking after technique. It's all important in them younger years, I suppose, to get that technique right.
Oh, that's it. That foot placement where we put your hands.
Yeah,
Stu would probably drum us into us.
Not too low, not too high.
That's it.
Not down your pants.
Yeah.
And that's why we like watching when we do our trainings together, though, is just when we do set, though, is where we put our hand placement and stuff, and it's awesome to do that because it helps us when the season does start. Hopefully we get some games in this year, which would be awesome. You guys are lucky because you already had one game, but NPL, did you play that first game, Cyril? I don't think, did you?
Sorry, gents. I picked up a couple of yellow cards in night series and he kicked me out for the first game. So
really, that does not sound like you one bit.
Mate, that's a bit out of character there. I'm sorry, we kind of set you up for that one. We knew you didn't.
Yeah, thanks for letting me drive into that one.
There's a wall, crash straight into it.
How did you find the night series this year?
Yeah, do you know, it's been a really sort of I'd have to say a topsy-turvy start to Rockingham this year. Obviously, we lost our manager late on the piece, and then we couldn't really get sort of any momentum. So, Brooksy stepped in and did his thing, and we were just trying to get some consistency. We struggled with a few players, but Gaz Christie, who was our intern manager, who's just come back now to the club. He seems to be getting things right now, and I think it will be it's successful, but stability is key, isn't it? We struggled a little bit, to be honest, at the start.
Did Gaz do a bit of experimenting with players, like putting him into the squad and trying different things? Did they use that as a bit of an experiment as the season would go?
Absolutely. So Gaz only came back. We had Matt Brooks as our manager for the night series, and we took a few big hits in the night series. Quite a few players were away on obviously extended vacations and things like that. So we did use a lot of young boys. Which I don't see as a bad thing. I think there's a lot of young talent at Rocky. I think the night series is a good platform for them. But Gary came back in round 2 and round one. That was Inglewood away. His first game back in charge. And the boys did really well in that game. So it will be positive if we get back. I think Gaz, he's got a really good. He's got Brooks as assistant now. Matt Brooks is his assistant, and they're a good duo. They'll be fine, They'll and Alan Potty is there as well, bit of experience. So they should be fine.
Yeah, it's a hard thing, or as teams, coaches, players, how to take the night series. There's some coaches that go out and go to win it and prove something. There's some coaches that take it as an experiment to see, obviously a club that might have 10 new players in. How you fit into the first team squad. You have those players that play reserves or, floating in between the two. So it's really, I kind of think it'd be a little bit the same with NPL to the State League. Just with the experimentation of what coaches do.
And I'm a big believer in, we had a young boy, Nestor Berger, who's a very good keeper. He's only 17, 18, I think he's around there. And he's again, being in the twilight, I said, look, there's no real need for me to be playing night series. I mean, the boy needs experience, and I know, as we spoke about growing up, there was no one. It was quite cutthroat to want your other keeper to play. But now my head tells me that younger boys need to be playing these big games against Perth or the night series games. So give them a crack. They're only going to go with experience, aren't they?
Well, it's a great experience playing night series. You might come up a team that might put out a full strength 11 team. And why not? 17, 18, geez, you can imagine just myself when I was younger, walking out into the night series, be like, oh yeah, this is it. Like I'm there, I'm wearing the number 1, so it's good.
Yeah, it's really good experience.
Oh, definitely.
It's awesome. We've got one last question for you, Cyril, but obviously you've had an amazing career with regards to lots of different clubs that you've played for, but one of the ones that really strikes out for me is because I've played amateurs at Armidale, so I've obviously been a part of the Armidale setup, and I've also been to the first team games in the NPL, and the home crowd there, mate, is
the Army.
The Armadale Army is absolutely insane to play in front of, and you watch it, and when you're part of it, you really do feel, that real sensation that you are part of something that's bigger than just playing football. But obviously, you've had that experience in playing when you played with the Army as well. I'm not sure if they were in the NPL at the time. But what's it like playing in front of them, like them real big crowds, and like do you take it on board, or is it one of them things that you kind of just block out a little bit and you can't just focus on the football?
And it's a good question. I suppose, as I said earlier in the piece, is that in my earlier years, and I mean this is in a really positive way, is that the crowd was never there. It was me. I was there in this environment and I was playing football. It didn't matter if there was 10 people or 1,000 people, 2,000, whatever it may be. It was sort of irrelevant. But as I've come to, start to cherish what I have been. I mean, the intent for me when I first came to Perth was actually not to play football. I knew my end. My end was sort of when I finished playing in the UK and to come to migrate. But uniquely enough, I'd only been here one day, and Armadale called me and asked me to go down and train. But I actually wasn't even ready to play. I said, listen, give me a few weeks and I'll get back to you. But they continued to bombard me with phone calls. So I
gotta love it.
I did have to go. But no, going back to that question, the fans, Armadale's a really unique, lovely club. I suppose, as you said, you fall in love with it. I got there and albeit it was so different to where I played before. I literally rolled up and thought, I must be at the wrong spot. This can't be a ground. But that's true. And I think one of the first guys I met was I think it was Ken Madley and he's nice.
Testing you now.
Yeah. Just scratching the old noggin now, eh?
Peter Murphy, that's right. Peter Murphy was in charge. And I recall a good keeper being there as it was. I think Stu was actually telling me he's still playing around the traps for Swan.
Okay.
Oh, there's an older boy. Nick Stone.
Nick Stone.
Yeah, very good keeper. He was the keeper when I first came to Armadale. So that was a battle in itself.
Ex-Bournemouth keeper as well, and also lined up to potentially join us on Inside 6 Yards as well. So there you go.
What a guy. Very good, very cool guy. Yeah, long time ago. Crazy enough, he was a good friend of mine. The Bournemouth keeper, Gareth Stewart, he knew him quite well. So, again, that was quite unique. But, original question, they're a pleasure to play with. They're it doesn't matter if you're home or away, they travel. That group there, Scotty and the likes were at every game, and it was fun. I embraced it. It was fun. I had a laugh with him. I enjoyed it. I definitely didn't take my time too serious at Armadale. I loved that crowd and had a crack with them when I could. As you said, waving and carrying on and singing on the pitch was something I used to do with him, which was fun.
Definitely.
But it's always nice when you've got a crowd. It doesn't matter how many there is. It's always nice to have a familiar face watching you, and they certainly do. They did trek around Perth to watch us every game, which was very, very good.
Just besides Rockingham City, obviously the stadium that you play at. Do you have any other favourite stadiums that you enjoyed playing at, or that were a highlight or you enjoyed?
Yeah, do you know what? I played at a few. There's no doubt about that. I won it with Fleetwood in England, Fleetwood Town, and we've got promotion there, and that season was quite unique. They're a big club now. When we played, it was quite a smaller club, but they packed 2,500, 3,500 in a game in a stadium which was really tiny, and that was fun. It was like a little bit of a cauldron in itself. So I'd have to say, Fleetwood is close to my heart. They were that was a great little club to play for. Crazily they took some promotions and they're in the Football League, which is great for them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cyril, look, it's been a pleasure, mate, having on our show, being our first special guest.
Mate, absolute legend for coming on, and wish you all the best with the future, and hopefully this NPL season does eventually come around and we get to see you in action again. Doing what you do best, mate, and that's stopping the ball going in the net. Yeah. That's what we do, right?
Absolutely.
Let's try and keep it to 4 cards.
Yeah.
4 cards this season, all right?
Little wins for the wins.
I'll try, gents. Listen, appreciate your time. You're doing a fantastic job. Appreciate you having me along, and good luck with this thing.
No worries. Thank you very much, Cyril.
Enjoy the rest of your night, gents.
Thanks, mate. You too. Bye. Wow. What an amazing interview. Well, what a great guy.
Oh, dude, Cyril is just a legend in WA for goalkeeping, and it's such a privilege getting him on the show. And what a shout out, and just thank you so much, mate. Absolute legend.
Oh, agreed,
yeah.
Tommy. It's good to talk to, a senior goalkeeper. There's obviously been through a lot, done a lot of things, a lot of accomplishments, a lot of goals, and also just getting inside goalkeepers' heads of what, the preparations, what they do before a game, after the game, certain myths that we heard about this young man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And hearing the truth about this.
Yeah, for sure.
So just rewinding it back, Tommy, you mentioned something about a giveaway. Can you give me the Craig David?
I will fill you in, my friend.
That's good. That's good.
Loves it. So, guys, we are doing an SDL giveaway this week. So, courtesy of sdleisure.com.au, we will be giving away a full SDL kit. So, this is going to include your shirt with a number on it, plus the Inside 6 Yards podcast logo on the front as well. You'll also get a matching pair of shorts and socks valued at $55 for free. Exactly.
Do the matching underwear come into it?
Oh, mate, unfortunately, you're going to have to get them by yourself, but absolutely amazing. So what the kits, these are the 2020 versions of the kits. You have available, we have a red, orange, green, and a purple, and they all look absolutely awesome. We're just going to throw you up a picture there so you get to see it all. So the winner that eventually will get selected will get the full kit in their size, in whatever their choice of the 4 colours, and it's real easy and simple to enter the draw. So we're going to do a quick trivia question, and all you have to do is answer the trivia question, and send it through to our email. So our email is at inside6yarns@gmail.com.
Simple.
Yeah.
Very, very simple.
So you just send in your answer, your age, and what club you play for. All right, and that's all you have to do. And make sure you get the correct answer as well. And then you go into the draw to potentially win the kit. And we're going to announce the winner on the next episode with our next special guest.
Oh, that is very naughty,
That
Tommy.
sounds naughty.
Very
but
naughty. What
is this week's SDL giveaway trivia question, Yatesy?
Well, this trivia question, unfortunately, this goalkeeper, this legendary Chelsea goalkeeper, just passed away. Oh. So, what is the nickname of the legendary goalkeeper, Chelsea keeper, who recently passed away?
Oh, okay. And if you're looking for a hint for this one?
No hints.
No hints?
No.
No hints?
No.
Oh.
But what were you going to say, sir?
Mate, so all it is for a hint is you go onto the SD Leisure Facebook page, and there is a post there. If you search, you will find something that's going to help you out significantly in finding the answer out to this trivia question. So if you're looking for a hint, head on down there, or if you already know the answer, easier done. So you just submit the answer, your age and your club to our email at inside6yarns@gmail.com, and then you'll go into the draw to potentially win this kit as well. When does the draw close?
Well, the draw closes. It's on Sunday, I do believe.
Sunday? All right, we're going to do Sunday. Next Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday.
All right, cool, easy. So you got till next Sunday to send us through emails. If you get the correct answer, you go into the draw to win an awesome SDL kit, which, by the way, are awesome.
They are. Look, great colour selection. Your choice, of course. I'm a personal fan of all red.
Oh, yes. Do we throw up the whole red?
We have to. Yeah, and maybe we'll throw up the picture of the meme, which is the WA football memes.
Oh, yes.
Which I'm hoping he doesn't mind us chucking that photo up.
Yeah, loves it.
But it's pretty cheeky.
Yeah.
And apparently my stage name is Kevin.
Kevin.
For those people playing.
There you go. Yeah. Awesome.
So get amongst it.
Oh, awesome, guys. Well, unfortunately, that brings us to the end of episode 1 for Inside 6 Yarns. So if you did like our podcast and you want to support us a little bit, follow us on any of the podcasts, so Apple Podcasts or even Spotify. On YouTube, if you are watching at home, subscribe and like the video as well. And stay tuned for more content each and every week from your favourite goalkeepers, Tommy Gunn and...
Well, Yatesy, I guess my name is.
All right, we'll catch you next time, guys. Take care.
See ya.